All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. And most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Here for our Sunday night hobby hangout. And I apologize if I'm a little bit running behind today. It's been a bit of a busy evening. It has been a bit of a busy evening as we just put the tickets online for Sinful Gaming Grand Tournament and it's sold out. So it's been a fun evening for me. It's been a good one. Let's get painting some models because I am in a fantastic Warhammer mood and nothing is going to dampen my spirits tonight. It's awesome. We're going to get painting. I am super happy with everything at the moment. So let's get finishing. I did mention I'm painting elves. If you've been watching along, painting my Wildwood Rangers, I'm painting elves, but not those elves. I'll be painting those elves in a week or so. Yeah, if you're joining us in the chat, let us know what you're working on and all of that. So awesome. Well, that's an empty bottle of paint. Why is that in my... Why did I put that away? Alrighty. If you're joining us, let us know where you're from, what you're joining us, what you're painting along with today, tonight, this evening, wherever you are from. Let us know. And yeah, let's start off this conversation with what are we working on tonight, and yeah, we'll go from there tonight. So boots. Alrighty. Nice. In the UK, working on your Warp Lightning Cannons. Awesome. Always love to see some Skaven getting painted up. I am a big Skaven fan. Skaven are my one love after my elves. So we are now just start getting all this leather base coated. It's probably the last truly... I've got like 2 major stages to sort of finish on these guys and girls. But yeah, as mentioned, it's been a good evening so far. Put tickets up on sale for the GT I'm going to be running in South Australia, and they sold out tonight. So I am a happy person. What's even better, like, so for those, Australia's like pretty separated for those who don't know. Like we literally have to fly to other events across the country, like, or drive, and sometimes like people will do like 8-hour, 10-hour trips. But what's awesome about the event selling out is it's sold out almost entirely of locals. So that will be awesome that it sold out so well with just locals. which is awesome. Like it just makes me really happy that the event sold out. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to go look and see what restrictions are to see whether maybe there's potential to expand beyond my initial numbers, because things are changing where I am on all the restrictions. So we might be even able to go bigger, which would be fun. I think this brush is voluntarily dead. Definitely shooting. Like, I still think KO are Lumineth's single biggest weakness. Thought that in the old book, and I continue to think so. I think a good KO list will absolutely wreck Lumineth. And armies that can hold a punch. So the interesting thing, right, is if you're taking that new hero that everyone is worried about, you are dropping something for him. So you're either first of all is Eumetrica. So he gains nothing no matter where you put him, because Eumetrica doesn't benefit him in any way, because it's all about the Stone Guard. But also, if you're taking him, you're having to drop one of your other big pieces like him. So if you're taking him, you're now... I'm pretty sure you can't take the battalion. Let me have a look. Just give me a sec. I just want to make sure I'm right on something. I want to make sure I'm right on something I'm saying. I'm just trying to look at a battalion. Yeah, I was right. It is you're required. So in the current Lumineth list that you see taken, like for the Stone Guard list, for instance, which is what Eumetrica really benefits from playing in, you lose the battalion, so you lose your drops if you're taking him, because you're probably having to drop Avon Lenore. And if you're not dropping Avon Lenore, the Big Cow Mountain, that means you're dropping Teclis, which is huge. Dropping Teclis is massive. And if you're not dropping either of them, you're losing out on numbers on the battlefield, which means you just won't be able to kill enough of the enemy to... Because Stone Guard aren't doing any damage. Like, Stone Guard don't do much damage at all. So... yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the lists. Like the Eumetrica list, I think doesn't use the new stuff at all. And if it does, it's weakening that list in every way. No matter what you drop, I find it getting weaker, even if you're having that new awesome bow dude in it. Definitely shooting. Like, shooting is Lumineth's weakness, which is funny because they can be a really good shooting army themselves. But like, that dude is not that tough. He's only got 10 wounds. He's only got a 5-up save. Yes, he's got some DPR and all that sort of stuff, but he's still just going to die to any decent shooting or combat unit. Will rip him to pieces. And like the whole thing, they're like, oh, he's just going to bound over and jump into your faction terrain. Deploy your faction terrain better. Deploy it really deep in your territory. Or surround it with models that he can't get to it without really extending himself and putting himself in danger. Like, even with that 12-inch leap back, you know he has to be doing things to do that, so... you can really plan for all that sort of stuff. Hey, Arnold, nice to see you there, man. And yeah, I apologize for the lateness on my part. Because, yeah, as you saw, the GT sold out. So I've been busy just sort of scrambling. Had a few people, like, it's interesting. So I've already had like a few people drop out because their friends from interstate couldn't come because I sold tickets. So now I've sold a few more tickets to locals, and which is cool. Like, it's awesome. My GT sold out. At the moment, we're just chatting about the new Lumineth. As Donald sort of started chatting with me about them. Yeah, I think the internet is overreacting a lot about them. I mean, I had to remove something off the Facebook groups where someone's like calling everyone who plays Lumineth the power gamer, and like you should just refuse to play against Lumineth. And Kyle, nice to see them in. Kyle is one of my lovely locals who will be helping out at the event to some degree. And you'll probably see his face on the channel sometime soon, I'm sure. Exactly. And yeah, it's great to see like our local scene thriving, especially like where we are. We normally are not the scene to put numbers up at events. Like if we've had events, they're not us. It's not been like our area of the city that's put numbers in, and to see us like almost completely fill out the event is amazing. Which it's just great. Like everything about tonight with the event going up has just been awesome. Could not be happier. Um, but yeah, what are people working on tonight? What hobby do people have, or what are they going to be working on later today, wherever in the world you are from? Yeah. Nice man. By Big Bird, he means he's painting up a Lord of Change, literally like Big Bird from Sesame Street. Go lovely with what you're painting up, Arnold. Arnold's painting up the Elmo with a chainsword. No, yeah, sorry, not Elmo. Kermit the Frog, killing all the Muppets. It's great. Um, but yeah, it's pretty good day. Really excited for our event up north now. Um, I don't know whether every army will get something in Broken Realms. It seems very likely that we are going to get Alariel because she's featured in both books now. So I will say nothing more about that, but yes, she does feature in Broken Realms Texas again, of which we already knew anyway. So that is all I will say on that, and we won't say anything more. So I definitely think we'd do something on that. Thanks, Treasure Hoard Hobbies. That is awesome to hear, man. Glad you enjoy the channel. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of armies get stuff. There's not much they've gone through about half the armies already. Because what have we got? We've had Flesh Eater Courts, Nighthaunt. No, Flesh Eater Courts, Ossiarch Bone Reapers, Nurgle, Cities of Sigmar twice, Daughters of Cain, Slaves to Darkness, Idoneth Deepkin, Stormcast Eternals. We've had almost half the armies now in 2 books. And we know we got Bielakor, which is probably going to be Legion of Chaos Ascended, and whatever Kragnos appears to be. I mean, and Bielakor's got to have something going against him. I wouldn't be surprised in Bielakor to see more. What do we call it? More Slaves to Darkness stuff in Bielakor. Because his whole thing is he doesn't like the Arcanus he ever chosen, and he's not. He wants to be the big bad daddy. So he'll be interesting to see what exactly he does. I guess what his whole book is about. Be interesting, right? Because maybe his story goes with Marathi. Not Marathi, Alariel. So for those who don't know, Bielakor is actually the one who went and disrupted Lilith and Araloth and tried to corrupt Athel-Loren in the end times. So maybe that's something there. So who knows? It's definitely an interesting time to be getting into AOS. Or just enjoying AOS in general. Yeah, so I'll be quite interested to see where this all goes. I mean, hopefully it leads to a new edition of the game. Yeah. Hopefully it leads to like Broken Realms leads to a new edition, much like Cycle of Awakening did for 40k. Here's a question for everyone. Yeah. Love it when people just can't be nice on the Facebook pages that I have to just delete posts. It is mighty annoying. It's Facebook, so I shouldn't expect any better, really, should I? Yeah. So if you're watching, like, what would you like to see in a new edition of Age of Sigmar? What would be the number one thing you want to see in a new edition? Charge reactions? Yep. Like when the rumor came out that that's a thing, as long as it's maybe like something like command point based or something like that, I think there'd be some really cool things with like some cool command point things you could do with charge reactions. I don't want to see them just come back as like something you do. That would probably be less fun, I think. I think the ability to like stand and shoot. Real new, complete new fashion. Yep, like I would love to see like the silent ones. Like bug people. Come at me, silent ones. Be really keen to see that. Yeah, treasure hoard hobbies, like completely agree. And I do think like the small board size just encourages that massively. If we get that smaller board size, which I think is like almost a certainty. And yeah, like even Overwatch would be a nice one. It's like the charge reaction only hit on sixes. Hive Tyrant Red, I am really good, thanks, buddy. We put up our tickets for our Cinderful Grand Tournament today, and they sold out in an hour and a half. So I'm in a really good mood today. Like, I would love to see a Death City where, like, a city. To see like a Death City where it's Cities of Sigmar, but they can have 1 in 4 units like Legion of the Gash. That'd be awesome. Like, I think they're really exploring like the amazingness of cities with these Broken Realms book. I don't think there's a better army that's getting more out of these books than Cities of Sigmar. I mean, they're in both books to start with, but they've got 3 brand new cities that all offer very unique ways to play. Like reward different models. They bring out models that maybe aren't as taken as well in other ones. I had someone question, like, I did my Settlers Gain video the other day, and someone's like, "Oh, I wish like this was like Phoenix Guard and Shadow Warrior focus," but I'm like, Yeah, but they do already have that city, and I think the story they're trying to tell with like Settlers Gain is humans and Lumineth working together, and like that's awesome. I'd love to see like more of that. Morning, Soren. Morning, as always, from Texas there. Just imagine Soren, every time you say it, all I imagine is like Soren with like, the big Texan cowboy hat. I'm just going, morning from Texas. That is my terrible attempt at a Texan accent. Right. From what I assume Texans look like, they all look like they just came out of rodeo. All Texans wear rodeo clothing, right? But yeah, Overwatch. I think Overwatch is like a really good one. Leonardo, nice to see you there. Hello from Germany. Finishing the Beast Riders and painting the Frostlord and Huskard as well. Awesome. They are definitely on my paint list. Like I've got 3 Thunder Tusks to paint up and a half of Feast of Bones. So that is all. Some ogres are definitely on the horizon. I do think once I've done this army, it'll be some Lumineth that'll be getting painted. Probably a little bit more Cities of Sigmar because I want to try out Settlers Gain. Troggoths, awesome, man. I love those Troggoth models. I painted up 3 of the old Troggoths, but I haven't actually got any of the new ones yet. But yeah, the Troggoths are awesome. I love. I've got a 2,000 point Glimpse by Kit's army. I've not played nearly enough games with it. I painted it up last year, like the start of lockdown. It was like the second thing I got done during lockdown last year. Because the first thing I got done was that Zinch army just up there. That's about 1,500 points of Zinch. That's completely fine. Formula One. I'm not much into Formula One. I was like a lot more into Formula One when I can't ever say I was really into Formula One actually. Like I like the motorbikes a lot. MotoGP was sort of like the sporting thing. And like used to be into supercars over here in Australia, but that sort of has lost a lot of its edge now that like Holden Ford's not the big rivalry in it anymore. Don't know, can we? Yeah, like there's definitely some good shouts for like armies. I mean, if we're going like models and stuff like that, there's no army I want to see more. Well, no set of models I want to see more than some more of these guys. Some Kernothi, please. I mean, that's my dream army. I'll drop everything. I mean, at the moment, we're powering through these elves, and then we'll be getting onto some Lumineth next. I've got some Caradron and some Daughters of Cain. If you can't tell, I like elves. But I also got to organise a 24-hour challenge that everyone voted for, which I'll be painting up in over 24 hours. I'll be attempting to paint up a Stormcast Eternals army. Not yet figured out how we're going to do it. If I'm going to, with 2 kids, it's impossible for me to do 24 hours in one sitting. I can't leave my wife like that. That's not fair. So what I might do is I might do 3 days in a row of 8-hour streams. So that'll be how I do the 24-hour challenge. What do people think of that as a way to do the 24-hour challenge? Because, I always think, just ain't fair on the wife. It'll be after Easter because me and the wife run a little sugar cookie business. So come up to Easter, we've got a ton of cookie orders to make. So that'll be the majority of our time spent over Easter. So probably all my streams that'll be on will generally be a little bit later in the night because it's got to be when the kids are completely gone to bed. But yeah, so that'll just be the thing. The streams will just be a little bit later, but we're going to try and get onto that 3 streams a week plan that I had that got distracted due to life. For those who know what's been happening in life with me the past couple of weeks, life got in the way a bit. That is what it does. But so we'll be back to 3 streams a week. And we'll be working on that 24-hour challenge. Donna Cowie, that would be an awesome thing if the reason they didn't update a Croak model is because Croak gets a physical form again. That'd be awesome. I'm completely down for that. I think that would be a great progression for some Seraphon lore to have Croak become gain his body back. How awesome would that be? I'd be down for that. He's a great character because he's got such age and stuff to him, which is awesome for Seraphon. He just has so much to give as a character, and I'd really like him to become that more prominent in the lore. But yeah, I really like that idea. I am completely down for a reborn Croak. But yeah. All right. Well, that brings up another cool question. We're seeing people going on this sort of track. What army would you most like to see if there was a new army or a new addition to an army? What would you most like to see? Got people saying they'd like to see vampire pirates and Seraphon get some new models and stuff like that. What would be your one that you would like to see as either an addition to a current book and a full new range for something? So say Kernothi for me would be my pick for being an addition to Sylvaneth and getting a full book. A full set of models that they can add to a Sylvaneth. Schnum, Beasts of Vampires. It's 5:51 a.m. where you are, Anthony. Yeah, it is 11:22 p.m. where I am. We will, however, be on the same day at least. Did I forget to bring my drink out here? I'm just going to message the way. Like name characters, I've already said my part about like name characters. I did a video with Gardas and like talking about how important Gardas is for getting a model. Like the fact Gardas still so got a model is just amazing. Well, at least I'm here to keep you some company. I know all about teething children. Little boy just got a couple of his molars in. He's 1.5 as well, so roundabout. Make the wife bring me out a drink that I left inside. She is the best. So if you hear some yelling, that might be the wife coming to say hello. But yeah, my little boy just got a couple of his molars in it. It's rough when they're teething. Thank you. Okay. Bye, babe. What a good wife. She's making cookies at the moment. Non-Egyptian mummies. Yeah, that could be cool. Like for me, I think the coolest thing would like silent people. Like besides Kernothi, we all know how much I want that. Anyone who knows or has watched the channel knows how much I want Kernothi. But yes. Nice. Everyone's got 18-month-year-olds. 18-month-year-olds. That doesn't make sense. 18-month-olds. So, got something cool here. So the Wild Riders in my army, I managed to pick up some of the old Wild Riders. So we'll have a unit of 10 of the old Wild Riders in the army, which would be awesome for something different. Yeah, that's a different sort of 18 Soren. And I do not envy, like, I think we're at both ends of the terrible spectrum. You've got like rebellious 18-year-old, and we've got up all night 18-month-old. Yeah, I'd love to see Bone Reapers get something like the Syncs. I think that's like the one aspect. Like, obviously, the three aspects of Tomb Kings the Bone Reapers didn't take. I mean, they took the Bone Construct thing, like because the whole army's Bone Construct, so they took that and they sort of made that aspect of Tomb Kings the whole sort of thing. So, I mean, they've got catapults, they've got like blocks of skellies, they've got big things like Ushabti. So yeah, there's some cool stuff to do. But yeah, I think like the three things they're missing is like obviously they've got chariots, archers, which we probably know are coming thanks to that Underworld's warband, and like something like a sphinx, like big monsters. You have a ranged death army. It's called Blister Skin Flesh Eater Courts, where they all yell at you, and that is their range. Yeah, I'm totally not ready for the 18-year-old stuff. That can wait indefinitely, please. Yeah, it really doesn't, does it, Kyle? But I mean, it's a ranged army. You wanted one. There is one. Or you just play OBR with 4 counterbolts. But that's boring as anything. And hello, Jay Durthu. I did see you there, mate. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Yeah, I've got a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old daughter. Yeah, those issues can wait, please. We've got our own issues, like our own things to sort out. Like it's interesting. Kids are amazing. My eldest is my daughter, and she's 2.5, and then I got my little boy that's 1.5 as well. It's an awesome time being a parent. All those years you worry about it, and then it happens, and you're just fine. Yeah, I do think the battalion's a decent thing. I think I haven't really given a look. I really want to like get the actual book so I can. There's only so much I can do with like reading leaks and all that sort of stuff before I really figure out how I want to play with it. I do like the battalion though. Nice, Jada. I think that sounds awesome, man. But yeah, I'm really not quite sure on how I want to go about that new Settlers Gain stuff yet. I definitely think the battalion is in the list. Bretonian Stormcast, we went through this on thing, and I am completely on board for Bretonian Stormcast. That sounds awesome to me. Just as long as they're not on horses. I don't want them on horses. I want them on something cool like Griff Chargers. Give me we've got Dracosian Guard, which are like the Dracos and stuff like that. Make that cool, and maybe that could be your heavy cavalry. But I'd love to see like heavily armored like Griff Chargers. I think would be cool. And Donald Cowie. So, question my local meta. What are the most popular armies in my local meta? All right. So I sort of have like two metas that I consider my local meta. So I have like my game store where I play, and then I have like the local tournament scene. So local tournament scene is pretty vast actually. Because I think I ran Cinderful Gaming Grand Tournament last year, and we due to all the COVID stuff and everything like that, we only ended up getting 24 players. However, we only had the same army repeated twice. We did have 3 of one army and 2 of another army that was doubled up. I believe there were 2 Stormcast, and then there were 3 Gloomspike Gits, but one Stormcast was Gav Bomb and the other was Shootcast, and then the Gloomspike Gits were Spiders, Squigs, and Grots. None of the armies were the same. There were 3 Gloomspike Gits armies, but they all played on different parts of the army, and there were 2 Stormcast armies playing entirely different armies, which was awesome. So my local meta was for the tournament scene that year was quite varied. And then even this year, we had quite a varied meta. There was, I think, 3 Stormcast lists, all very different. A couple of giant lists at SAGT this year. It was pretty cool. Nice and varied again. At my store, however, I've got a lot of Seraphon players, actually, which isn't as bad as it sounds because a lot of them are quite new and most of them don't own Croak. But we've actually got quite a few Seraphon players. We've got quite a few Nighthaunt and Stormcast, and that's because we picked up a lot of people from the Immortal Realms magazines that have come out in Australia. So a lot of people that have just joined in our community have had Nighthaunt, especially Nighthaunt more than Stormcast I've seen played. Underdog Painting, hello there, mate. But yeah, so Nighthaunt is definitely one that's right up there for me in my local meta. Lots and lots of people have it just because Mortal Realms has just made it so accessible as an army. Which is awesome. Oh, nice. That's a cool job. I am a chef by trade, speaking of job. And yeah, Soren, you were supposed to get Mortal Realms the same time we did, which was just after the first initial wave of COVID. Initial wave of COVID in Australia. We won't get into any of that, but yeah, you were supposed to get it at the same time we were, but shipping issues stopped it. So hopefully you will get it at some point. I really do hope so. Apparently, I went out and bought what were they? You got 3 Spirit Hosts for $20 Australian. In Australian, these box sets are normally $48. So, and then there's another one that is $20 for 5 Black Knight Hex Wraiths kits. There was another one the initial one was $6. So $6 got you 10 Chain Rasp, and then also got you 3 Sequitors as well, which included a Grand Hammer, which was the best thing about that because it then meant that you could combine that with starter sets really easy, or because it gave you, you'd get 2 sets of that, you'd get 2 Grand Hammers, 2 normal Sequitors. And so you only needed a prime or another one, so you could buy like a box of Sequitors and split them amongst the rest of your troops, and you could have like quite a lot of Sequitors done really, really cheaply. Speaking of Sequitors too, like I did put up a poll asking like what chamber people wanted me to paint for the 24-hour challenge, and people did vote for Sacrosanct. So I will be painting up some Sacrosanct chamber. So I've got a bunch of Sequitors and a bunch of other stuff. I've got Lord, what can we call him? Some Knight Questers, Knight Encantors, Lord Exorcist, that's the one. Going to convert up a Lord Arcanum on foot. I'm going to try and build the like a Tempest Lord list, so I'll probably go buy the Endless Spells as well. So at the moment, I'm just base coating all the leather on all of them. So like the pauldrons. Pauldrons? Yeah, pauldrons are there, aren't they? Yeah. And their boots. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go base coat the skin because the wash for the 2 parts is the same. I'll use Bracken Flesh Shade to wash both parts. Should be fun. And once those parts are done, it's really onto like the last sort of like details. These 50 or 48. Which will be awesome. Once these are out of the way, this is the bulk of the force done. Yeah, man, it'd be great. So, funnily enough, Kyle here is the one I bought these a decent chunk of these Wildwood Rangers off. I had 20 from my old Wood Off army because that was all you needed back in the day. And then obviously with the new battalion in Cities of Sigmar, I needed some more, so I got them off him. So once these are done, I'll smack out the Wildwood Rangers. Not the Wildwood Rangers, the Wild Riders, in which I got a unit of 10. Just be great to get my Wood Elves on the table. And yeah, once this is done, I'll probably start punching out 2,000 points or something else. But, yeah, I can't wait to get these on the table, man. I want to play Ryan's Gargants with them because the Wild Rangers get +2, 2 damage against those Gargants. So I want to see if like they can go chop down a Gargant. Nope. So drop one. I don't know if they will. I mean, what is it? There's 20 of them, right? So they're 3s and 3s. They can be 2s and 3s. I've got the Nomad Prince there, so 2 attacks each, 20 of them. I'm trying to think what the damage would be. What is it? 2 attacks each. So if they're hitting on 2s, that means 3. Yeah. I'm paying the Wild Rangers. 50 of them. So that means 3 miss on average out of that. 6 miss. So what is it? That's going to be. What's that? That's 40s minus 6, so 34, and then 2/3 of that wound. So 22. Then he saves a quarter of that. Oh no, he's gonna have because he'll have a 5-up save, so saves a third of that. 22. Yeah, on average they should take a Gargant out in a turn. A unit of 20, if they get all their attacks in and they've got the buff, they should take out a Gargant in a turn. Excuse my boring math on the screen. But yeah, if they all get in, they should do 36 damage. So yeah, they should kill a Mega Gargant. One unit should kill a Mega Gargant in a turn. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, like that 2 damage is just so consistent. So yeah, they 20 should take out a Mega Gargant. It's pretty awesome, and it's not hard to get them all into contact with a Mega Gargant. And Maw Crusher is much harder to kill as well because he's got a ton of defensive buffs. Yeah. I'm going to try and get these as painted as possible for our game. So I'm going to play Ryan in our league this week. So I'll probably take these guys out. I'm bored with the Stormkeep Patrol. Or do I take that because those Gargants aren't killing me? Do I take the Stormkeep Patrol because the Gargants aren't going to kill me? So I'm really getting to the point where I only like playing with my miniatures when they're painted now. I mean, I've got painted armies, so. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, I completely forgot they're 2-inch reach. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about 2-inch reach when getting their weapons in. Yeah, it'll have to be Wednesday night. They're the only nights I can get in store. So. So yeah, I'm thinking if I don't have these guys painted, it will be the Stormkeeper Troll that I'll probably take. Like, I'm to that point where I've got painted armies now. I think it motivates me more to paint if I only play with painted armies, because then I want to paint the models so I can get them on the table. Especially like the tournament coming up, I want to really be like encouraging people to get their models painted. So playing with painted models will be something I do a lot. Nice. You're playing Ash, I'm assuming? Awesome. All we have is 10 space marines at the moment, but you're waiting for vampires. That's fine, man. Like, if you know what you want is on the horizon, it's better to wait. Like, without a doubt. Better to wait and get that thing you're truly going to be passionate about. You'll have a good time. I mean, those vampires are looking sweet. If it depends when they come out for me. Like, I'm definitely grabbing Cursed City just because I want that. Oh, Luminous points are out, man. I will not post spoilers or leaks or anything on my page, but or my channel. But yeah, you can go find them in the Facebook group if you really want the Luminous points. You'll find them. Probably not. Like Donald, as much as like sometimes I think GW do stupid things, you don't want to listen to the general public. I'm like, there are people within the community who definitely have the experience you should maybe consider talking to. I believe Blade Lords are 121, 120, 140, something like that. Give me a sec. I can find it out for you. Blade Lords are 120. 4-5. 10 Rangers are cool. I think the Blade Lords come into it, and Blade Lords are very specific. Like, I think a unit 5 Blade Lords in an army is a decent thing. You sort of sit them behind like your chat screen, and or you send them into like an enemy horde. They're going to do a very different job. Yeah. Yeah, I think GW can be open in some aspects. You definitely don't. Like, they have playtesters out there that do playtesting, and you can think of that what you want. I know there are a wide variety of opinions. I generally am on good terms with nearly every playtester I know. I think they're all lovely. And I'm also not the one that really cares. Like, I've been a playtester for Games Workshop myself. Well, not Games Workshop directly, but I playtested the RPG Soulbound, so I'm one of the playtesters for that. But yeah, I think there's certain things you listen to community about, and there's certain things you definitely should not ask your community. Warhammer's an interesting one as well, because it's a very wide and varied community as well. The competitive scene is without a doubt the smallest part of the scene by far. Like, you think we consider tournaments massive in Age of Sigmar when we get a couple of hundred people. But in reality, or like even like 40k, you can consider tournaments massive when they get 1,000. There is no way that's the amount of players in your local area. I know plenty of players that like just don't go out to stores. They play when amongst some friends at their houses. And that's, yeah. So it's an interesting part of like who you've got to listen to. There's a lot of different things to think of when it comes to that sort of thing. In the end, I think Age of Sigmar is a good game. Is it perfect? No. And can they improve? Most certainly. But yeah, I think it's an interesting one, like, to see how far they go. I think rather than playtesting, a good mate of mine put up a very interesting conversation a little while ago. So, and we talked about this last episode, last paint chat I had, where you need rules like designers and stuff, but you also need like people to check them. So, like, I liken this to when I, as a chef, write a menu. I write out my menu and I go, I have like free reign to do whatever I want, so long as it sticks within, the cuisine. And even then, sometimes not. Like, sometimes I can get around it. But then I have someone employed, like my sous chef or even a maitre d', that checks my menu for me, and they go, hey, maybe you're being a little bit too crazy on this thing, or maybe this isn't quite us, whatever. And I can go, no, stuff you, and like fight for my thing, or I can go, yeah, maybe you're right, maybe this is a bit weird, I'll come back with something a little bit more safe. or different, or change it up to make it not so out there. And so it doesn't appear that Games Workshop have that person employed. They have playtesters, and the playtesters then write the rules, and that's it. You need someone like, and playtesters should never be confined ever. Not playtesters, rules writers. Sorry, not playtesters. Rules writers should never be confined by anything. They should have free reign to write whatever they want. You just need those people in place to check something and to go, hey, maybe we need to think about changing this. Maybe this should work a little differently. I think that's the most important thing you can have. Yeah, that's another thing is if you let the public design your game, you get selfish. I look at Ninth Age, for example, which is what Warhammer Fantasy went to, and the armies that straight away are the best somehow are also the armies that are played by the people who design the game. It's why like comp was so hated in has got such a bad rep in fantasy, because people would comp out armies and then not comp their own. Oh, nice steak and eggs. We actually have like a nice steak and eggs dish on our menu at work for breakfast. So we have like hashed potato, and then it's got halloumi, spinach, cherry tomatoes, HP sauce, of course, and then some slow cooked brisket. It is delicious. It is one of the nicest things we have on our menu. Besides Egg Benedict, because I make the best hollandaise you'll ever have. Not toot my own horn, but I make pretty good hollandaise. And yeah, and Dan, I think you're very right. Like a lot of people only think about are very short-sighted. Carl's tried my hollandaise. Yeah, not toot my own horn, but yeah, my hollandaise is pretty good, and I make it really freaking quick. But yeah. Oh, shit. It is midnight here in Australia. Lucky, I don't have work tomorrow, so we're going to keep painting. No worries, Dan. Nice to see you there, man. We'll catch you soon. Still have a prime black coach you have to get to. I'm like, I don't want to think about how many things I have to get to, Soren. Got this 2,000 points of Living City to do. And then I got 2,000 points of KO just sitting on that table over there. So we'll probably get to that. Be fun to paint up. Just got like 3 airships. It's got a gun hauler and 2 frigates in the army. So that'll be fun. I want to do something cool with my my Wild Riders there, because I've got horses, the old like Wild Riders, so I want to do like all my horses like different colors. To have, maybe 2 of one color, 3 of another, 1 of this color, and mix up the colors in the unit. I think it'd be really cool. Alrighty. So we're probably going to call it here for a night, guys. Thanks to everyone for coming and watching. I've got to go do some stuff and help around the house with the wife. But I will catch everyone later, all right? Thank you all for joining us. And a special shout out to everyone who supports the channel via Patreon and YouTube members. Thank you all so much. If you'd like to help support the channel via them, you can find the links to those in the description. Don't forget to come join our Discord server, which you'll find in the description of the video as well. But most of all, stay safe, everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.